This call is being recorded.
So good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our regular weekly VIP Global team call, where we get together every week and share success stories, share some information, give some tips and trips, and generally come together as a community and start bonding together as one unit, although of course we're all individuals as well. We've got an interesting, exciting call this evening. I'll be calling on Mr. Kyle McGregor shortly to share some information with us. And we've also got two people who are currently building out in the field and seeing great success that we're going to have them the opportunity to give some information out to you as well as to what they're doing currently right now that's working for them, okay? But before we do that, the conversation this evening is going to revolve initially around our training topic for this Wednesday night's evening VIP training call at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that is going to be on the importance of peaking and passing, creating curiosity, and setting up and initiating three-way calls. Okay, now that's pretty important in this industry, and I know that especially the three-way calls, it's been around a lot of times, a number of years, and I think because of that, a lot of people maybe don't give it the importance that they should, because it's not so technically challenging as all these lead capture pages and sales funnels and all these online marketing gizmos that everyone seems to say you all need to be successful these days. Okay, well, I'm here to tell you that right now, especially at this time, that is not what we need to be successful here. This is all about sharing. It's all about giving information. It's all about helping educate people. It's about reaching out and connecting with people on a personal level and piquing curiosity and using edification and third-party validation. I honestly believe that that's the way that we should be building this business in the very now, not the future, the very now, okay? But hey, listen, everyone makes mistakes, including me, right? I've been in this business 35, 36 years, man and boy. I still do things wrong now, and I still need to be, brought back on track sometimes. And I just want to go through a few things that I've seen of being sort of the top mistake, shall I say, that I see people making, and then we'll lead into why the training is going to be specifically on the subjects I just mentioned, okay? One of the first biggest mistakes I see people make in this industry all the time is simply failing to actually commit. Failing to commit to action, failing to commit to belief, failing to commit to learning and to educate themselves. People sometimes try this for a few months. They think that they know what they're doing. They go off and do their own thing. It don't work, and then it falls apart for them, okay? So the solution really is I'm asking everyone to sort of draw a line in the sand and make the commitment to do this business until you succeed. Because succeed you will if you keep doing it, and succeed you will if you keep implementing the tips and tricks that have been time-tested and proven to be successful and help build successful businesses for years and years and years. I'm talking about that. The second biggest mistake I see for people all the time in this industry is jumping from company to company when they try and put in their spin on something that they think is going to work and it doesn't work. Well, that didn't work in that company. Maybe it will work in this company, okay? What I'm here to tell you is that every single door that you open and walk into is another confusion for the people in your team. And that's what I want to talk about, going on to building multiple companies at the same time as well. People try to build multiple network marketing companies because they think, well, I've been told the average millionaire has 7 sources of income, so I'm going to have 5 or 6 network marketing companies. No, no, and no again. Honestly, you can have 7 sources of income, but to be successful, you have 1 network marketing company. I don't know why anyone feels that they could initially build without having success in any 1, 2, 3, or 4 or 5 different network marketing companies. It's my answer is this, okay? If you try and build a company and then all of a sudden you get sidetracked and you see something else that's a shiny object or something else that is good, because you've allowed someone else to sell something to you rather than you sell something to someone else. Because here's the thing, we're either buyers or we're sellers all the time. We're either buying into something or we're selling the concept and the idea of something. So I would ask everyone on here to focus and concentrate and not go off trying to build other businesses, especially now. And I can understand the frustration from some people because we don't know everything yet. People on this call are still looking and waiting for the information. We may not be fully aware of what marketing systems are going to be put in place. And yet still people seem to want to go out and find their own or build their own or put their own spin on something. But here's what I know. I'm here to tell you this, that if we keep it simple and we keep it duplicatable and we have one system that everyone can buy into, then we can all see success. Okay, it's the easiest thing in the world is to complicate something. It really is. And as humans, we're great at complicating things that really should be simple. And the next problem I see, and this is going to start coming into the topic of tonight's conversation now. The next biggest mistake I see people doing all the time, and excuse the expression, but here it goes, verbally vomiting on your prospects. And believe me, right, I get it. I used to do it myself because everyone's excited. We all know about a new business. We've been told about it. We've been given information. We had our curiosity piqued. We've maybe had a three-way call. We've had third-party edification. And then all of a sudden, we get it. So then we start phoning up everybody and we start to verbally vomit on them by telling them everything. Don't be that person, okay? And this is why I want to talk today about piquing interest and what Kyle calls peaking and passing. Okay, and Kyle, I hopefully will explain to you shortly when I give him the opportunity to his philosophy of the bullfighter. Okay, Ole, get out of the way. So remember that, and Kyle will come back to that shortly for you as well. But while you're doing that, and while you're piquing interest, and Kyle is going to go into much more detail for you about that as well, I'm going to ask everyone to start or to stop being so pushy and start listening to simple clues. And by that, I mean, we've all been on a call and we've all wanted to express an opinion and give that next bit of information. And then we've had some buying signals. We've had the okay to go into some more information and some more information. And we get so excited, we don't hear those little ums, those ahs, those uncertainties, those little questions that are little doubts. And if we don't approach and deal with them when they crop up, then they grow, then they become bigger, then they start to fester, and little worries become big problems in people's minds. So I'm just asking everyone to be aware of that at this point in time as well, okay? And if someone says no to you, don't be a pushy salesman and phone them back 3 times later and say, well, I know you said no, but maybe it's because I didn't explain this to you properly. And then you go on again. I don't want you to be like that either. Be the person that takes on someone's no, realizes that no does never mean never. It just means no, not quite right now, not at this time. And yes, get back to them. You don't have to wait a year to get back to them either. 2-3 months, maybe 6 weeks, whenever we feel that there's another story to tell, whenever we've got a little bit more information that you can add to build to the picture and to build to their understanding. Okay, I'm talking about building pictures and building understanding. When you are piquing that interest that will lead to a 3-way call, here's my plea to everyone. Let's all stop using hype-filled lingo. Okay, why I hate that hype. I hate all that nonsense. Everyone talks in absolutes, and it becomes to me a bane of this particular industry. It really does. So I would love everyone to just dump the hyped up lingo that's been used for years and years in this profession. You know, ask anyone whether they feel hype is being part of a professional game or whether it's part of being a player. Really, you know, how many times have we heard the following phrases? For example, okay, oh, this is the best product ever created. We have the best compensation plan in history. Oh, this has never been done before, ever. For the first time in network marketing, we're doing this. This has got to be the greatest ground floor opportunity on the planet. We're going to be the next billion-dollar giant, okay? We've created more millionaires than everyone. Please, I say, well, you get the point, okay? Stop the insanity. Stop using absolutes. Listen, the comp plan may be amazing, okay? The timing may be perfect. The product, the platform may be exceptional. We don't have to tell people that. We just need to create curiosity. We just need to pique their interest so that they're interested enough to take the next step. Okay? And with that in mind, Mr. Carl McGregor, would you like to come on here and jump in and just share with us your experience of how you feel the best way to pique interest is right now at the timing of where we are particularly now? And Carl, can I say in passing over to you, it's an absolute pleasure to share this platform with you. I've shared calls with many people over the last 30, 35 years, and never one that's inspired me as much as you because of your leadership qualities, because of your servant mentality. You are a people person. And when you speak, I want to listen myself as well. So, Kyle, please share with us what you're seeing as the way that you're having success. And would you also introduce our two guests that may be on the call as well as part of this conversation as well, please, Kyle?
Absolutely. Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly, sir. Take it away.
Thank you so much. And absolute honor to be working with you as well, Philip, especially working on the other side of the pond. You know, places all over the world, people are listening into this and tapping into really what's available to us. The fact we get to be at a very unique time in the rise of an industry that we get to actually find a solution to a problem, you don't find that. And the fact that we're not limited to growth, we're not limited to product selection, if you can just get focused and you can actually see the big picture, you can actually have that vision, that foresight, that's who wins. And then they're willing to stick and stay to get your pay. You'll be able to have the financial reward that will come with being diligent, with sticking around long enough for it to come to fruition. A lot of times people come into a business or a company or they get excited at the beginning and then they say, wow. And really, it's not making a decision, right? What is the decision to decide, right? I mean, that's a big factor here, is when you see something, you recognize it, and you're willing to stay around long enough to open your vision up big enough to where you can actually see the big picture. You can see things come to fruition. You have the patience, and that's one of the big things that people don't have in business is they want part of this instant gratification society, that they're not willing to stick around long enough to win. Because it takes
Kyle, I'm sorry. Could I just butt in you, Kyle? I'm getting a comment in the box that you sound a little bit muffled. Can you maybe clear? So I'll get a clear signal somehow, or maybe just clear the obstruction that may be between you and the microphone.
How is that? Does that sound better?
Much better. Thank you, sir.
Marvelous. Okay, thank you so much. Anyway, so just making a decision to decide really this is what you want to build into. This is really what you want to do. Maybe you're still in the discovery phase. Maybe you're still recognizing. Maybe you saw the benefit and you want to engage, but you don't really have all the facts yet. But you see the benefit or the potential here. I would just say stick around long enough to win, okay? And that only transpires when you are willing to stay long enough for it to come to pass. But it's also going to take some action on your side. So first and foremost, the belief. If you don't have the belief, borrow mine. And stick around, stay plugged in, stay engaged as long as you can, right? Because there's nothing that deviates. I know that this works. Why? Because we've done it. We have proof of concept. I've already achieved some great success. I'm very blessed to have done that. But most importantly, I've been able to impact so many people's lives and helping them change their financial future. That is the most important factor for me, because if you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything that you want, right? So just make that decision. Nothing happens until you decide. So make a decision and watch your life move forward. And that's really one of the most important factors, is that decision to do something different. Actually decide what you want. Decide what you're willing to exchange for it. Establish your priorities and then just go to work, right? And just to piggyback off what you were talking about is, again, we're not here to convince people of anything. We're here to share with them the platform, how it functions, how it works, how they can benefit, how they can rise with the industry. Because at the end of the day, amateurs convince and professionals sort. So we're here to sort through the bunch. You don't have to overpromise like Philip was talking about. I underpromise and I overdeliver. So I make sure that they understand what's possible, what's coming, and that they can financially benefit from that, right? And just be real, be honest, be authentic, be open with people. You don't have to be the hypey guy. You're not here to sell people things. You're here to share a truly innovative concept that has the ability to revolutionize two of the biggest industries of the world. And so knowing that, believing that, having that vision and foresight of that, and then making the decision to go forward is going to be key, okay? Now, in regards to philosophies, then we'll get into the peak and pass aspect, okay? There's three philosophies I'll make sure that you guys live your business by. First and foremost is exposure is everything, all right? What does that mean, exposure? the key thing is not for you to become the salesman, not for you to speak, to tell everybody everything from your own personal mouth. Actually, the less you say, the more money you can make. What you want to do is just say enough to get their interest piqued for them to be willing to look or review information or have a phone call or a conversation with somebody that can help share that information. And I'll show you through why that's important. We'll talk about the psychology behind that. The second thing, though, the philosophy to live by is fortune is in the follow-up. If you're not willing to follow up with the people that you actually share the information with, then you'll never find your fortune. And that's going to be a discipline. You know, you got to be disciplined in who you know you're speaking to, who you shared information with, what kind of their step is, because the average person needs 5 to 7 exposures to make a decision for themselves. Right? Not everybody's going to see it right off the bat, the first conversation, the first view of the information. So make sure that you are diligent in your follow-up. You know, I remember there's a few people that are now just big business builders in my organization that it literally took me over 7 times, little by little, piquing their interest, having them read information, coming back, sharing the information again, having to get on the phone with somebody. But again, at that diligence, they finally, there's a term in Portuguese called quando a ficha caiu, when the coin drops, right? Or when the light bulb goes on. Because not everybody will get it right off the bat, because this is a different type of concept. This is an innovative ability to see things. Like, not everybody understood what Uber was when they first started. He was going to get a ride from a stranger. That's crazy, right? Not everybody understood this whole thing called the internet. It was a scary thing to participate in. Not everybody was participating in Facebook when it first came out, right? This whole social media thing. If I want to be social, I'm going to talk to them in person. Well, now social media has changed our world. So again, it takes vision to see something before the masses do, but it also takes courage to take the action necessary to win, right? So fortune is in the follow-up. Be willing to do your due diligence and make sure that you are helping them walk down that path of discovery, okay? And the third thing is to work with the willing. And we'll be going over some of these trainings that we're having on Wednesday evenings, Pacific Standard Time at 6 p.m. at VIPglobaltraining.com. You can go pre-register for that now. And a little more detail about what we're talking about here today. Okay, and more integral aspects of how you can actually implement what we're sharing with you. Okay, so again, VIPglobaltraining.com. Go and pre-register for our event coming up on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We also have a master class on Monday that Mr. Philip Llewellyn does with some of our leaders, and that's at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. GMT. Okay, so make sure you tap into those things that we have made available to you guys so you can continue to learn how to build your business efficiently and effectively. All right, so let's get back to this aspect of what's called peak and pass. Now, why is this important? Let's talk about the psychology behind it, because if people are hearing about a business, let's just say you've never really done a business like this before, or maybe you have, or maybe you haven't seen the success you've always wanted to, or maybe you have seen success, but sometimes people mentally, they're like, wow, he's done all this wonderful big things. I don't know if I could do what he does or she does, right? So again, there's a psychology. People actually will look at you. If you're doing all the information, if you're telling all the information from your own mouth, and you're doing this big presentation, people are like, wow, I don't know if I can do what she or he does. But if you get as simple as this, if you just pique their interest, ask them a few questions, find out if they're open to opportunity, and then have them review it, and then follow up with what's called a 3-way phone call. Okay, now if you've never done a 3-way phone call, I'd get back with the person that invited you, that brought you on, one of your sponsors or support team members, and learn how to do what's called a 3-way phone call. All that is just basically bringing someone else on the line to have them communicate, share the story, pretty much. But the story needs to be told. The information needs to be delivered in an efficient way, but it can't come from you, and that's the weird part. I was always taught that sales is, I've got to become this salesman. I got to convince people of what I'm telling them. No, this is totally opposite. And this is why when people are like, well, I'm not a salesman, I'm saying, great, I'm glad. Actually, the less you sell, the more success you'll find. Again, the key is just to be the connector, to be like the mailman. Think about what the mailman does. We're in the information delivery business here, guys. Think about this. The mailman doesn't go to your door, knock on your door, and say, I got your mail, and then open your mail up and start reading it to you. He doesn't do that, or she doesn't do that. All they do is they deliver the information, okay? And then you can assess and see what it is and experience it and then make a decision on your own. That's all we're doing here. We're giving people the opportunity to see it for what it is, but we need to get ourselves out of the way. And a lot of times people fail in this type of business because they are making they're sharing with people maybe in a way that isn't really a proper way to share it, or the story's not being told efficiently or effectively, or they're basing their decision on your personal background or relationship you have with them. That happened to me big time. And when I first started within the industry, I thought that I had to become the sales guy. And so I kind of put this little facade on. I'm like, hey, guys, I got this amazing opportunity. It's going to blow your mind, blah, 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 blah. And I was that hypey guy, which is the worst thing I could have ever done. But I didn't know. I didn't yet have the training. That's why we do these things. That's why we have these conversations on these calls and just do training. So you can show you to make it super, super simple. Kiss it. Now, keep it super simple. That's how we do our business here. And the psychology is just to get yourself out of the way, let them make an informed decision for themselves because they can see the information for themselves. And now they're not basing their opinion off of you, but they're basing the opinion off the information they took a look at. But this third-party aspect, this three-way phone call, is a huge key element. And really that's one of the most important factors is peak. If you're talking about the tool, peak and pass. Peak their interest, have them watch the information, and then get them on a three-way phone call, okay? Because they're thinking three things. They're like thinking, well, can I do what he or she just did with me? Do I have time to do what he or she did with me? And do I really want to do that to the people that I know? See, if you're this amazing sales guy, or let's just say you're not an amazing sales guy, like, well, I don't know if I can do what he or she did. I don't really have time to do that, and I really don't want to do that to the people I know. But if you say, hey, look, do you shop online? Yeah. Do you personally right now currently get paid to shop online? No. Would you like to? Sure. Cool, I got this video. It's pretty epic. Take a look at it. It made a lot of sense to me. Now I can shop, save, and get paid. And actually, I can help people get fed around the world doing it. Like, what? How does that work? Have them watch the information. Once they see the information, I ask them what they like the best, what piqued their interest, and then I get them on the three-way phone call. I edify. So in the three-way phone call aspect is peak, edify, and pass. So just remember that, peak, edify, and pass. And that allows someone else to get a third-party validation. Why is that important? Think about this. Have you ever been to a store before and you're trying on maybe some clothes or some shoes or things of that nature, and you're not really sure about it? You want to get a third party's opinion on what it looks like or feels like. I know I do that. I remember asking this lady, I'm like, how do these shoes look on me? She's like, you kind of look like a clown in them. So guess what I didn't do? I didn't buy them. Right? And I tried another shirt, shoes on, and I asked this other guy, he's like, you know what, they look pretty clean, bro. They look good. Guess what I did? I bought them. And I didn't even know them from Adam. So again, people, we need to hear a third party to really validate the information we've been shared. It's an important factor. Even these three-way phone calls, let's say somebody wants in, when they first come to the business, also get them on the phone with one of your support team members to let them know they're in business for themselves but not by themselves. They have more support than just you. That they're part of a community. That they're here to build a business together with a whole amount of people that are of like-mindedness, right? So again, that's an important factor. And I'm going to share with you this concept. I'm going to bring on a gentleman that's really seeing tremendous success right now, and excited to be working with him. He's just blowing up his business, and because he's learned this aspect, these philosophies, is kind of like the matador, right? Think about what a matador does. He's out there the matador's a bullfighter, okay? So he's got this red cape to bring and pique interest for this bull to come towards him, because that type of color really gets him interested. So he's like, Olay, and he comes, and the bull's running, and guess what? If he doesn't get out of the way, what happens? That's right, he gets gored. He gets run over. He gets maybe stabbed with the nice little bull's horns, right? So that's kind of like what we do in our business. A lot of times people don't get out of their own way. They stay there. They're bringing people over, and they try to do all the information delivery themselves, like the mailman, okay? And what you want to do is be like the matador. Say, Olay, get out of the way. Peek and pass. Take the interest, pass it on. It's kind of like the guy that's, if you're running a marathon or a relay race, and you have this thing called a baton, right? You've seen that at the Olympics. They're running, and they pass it in a smooth manner so that way that they can get momentum coming into the next guy. It's like the baton. Just pass it over, and this is an interdependent business. What does this mean? There's not necessarily you being dependent on somebody. That's not what this is about. Or you being this independent guy, I don't need anybody. I'll build it by myself. This is about interdependency, where 1 + 1 = 5. This is a synergistic type of business building aspect. And the psychology behind it is help people understand that they can build business with us, that they can actually, you can get yourself out of the way. They can see logically how this all works because they're not basing their decision off of your personal relationship or experience. Okay. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what that looks like, and we're going to more detail on our training on Wednesday, and you'll see it. You'll see some visuals, see how it works, some ways to pique people's interest. What are some of the things that you can say? What are the things that you want to do? And I will actually bring on Mr. Steve Romana. He is a gentleman that's up in Northern California, and I have you, Steve, I'm going to have you share your background and why you're choosing into this platform, why you're building this e-commerce incentivized business with us, and really what your belief is, and then kind of what you're doing right now to pique that interest, and how people are coming on so quickly with you and your team.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Kyle and Philip. Can you hear me?
Perfectly,
yeah,
sir.
obviously.
Great. Again, thanks again. I love these opportunities. I love helping people and sharing, and I'm having great success. I do have team members that are helping. Right off the bat, I'd say get in as a team. Don't do this alone. Find an upline, sideline, whatever, somebody that's with you. Do this with them. It's a lot of help. I have John Goss, who's on the call, who's been an incredible help to me, and I thank him dearly. The reason I got involved is I've been a founding member before with another company about 10 years ago. Didn't last long, but the opportunity was so great. So I've been looking for at least 10 years for this type of opportunity. And when I got on a call with Kyle and John and explained this opportunity, I was 5 minutes, I was all in. I will always remember that call, because it's an opportunity for you to get paid residually with the whole company, not with just the team that you're going to build as well. So I look at it as a double pay. The companies can pay you with their 5% founders profit, as well as the team that you're going to grow, because I'm so excited. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm excited and passionate about this opportunity, and I think people see it. One thing that I do is everybody that I'm running into now is, hey, Joe, what are you doing? How's it going? What's up with you? He'll tell me I'm doing this, this, and this. How about you, Steve? Says, well, I became a founding member of a company, and I'm so excited. Wow, tell me more about it. Well, it's an e-commerce site. We're going to pay people to shop, and, we're going to have some super affiliates. Wow. Well, can you tell me more? I said, yeah, give me your name, your email, phone number. Let me send you a link. Watch this video, and I'll follow up with you. And as Kyle had said earlier, follow-up is the key. You will never be successful without it. I even follow up with drip emails. So if you have an ability to do that, I would follow up every couple of weeks, whatever you feel is comfortable with you, and bring them more information, because I've had people sign up after the fact when they say, I'm not really interested, but then they get interested because something I've sent them. I've had a lady go, well, I get it now. What do I need to do to sign up? So as Kyle said, the no is not a give up. The go is just more work to be done. And we're in network marketing, not net rest marketing. We have to do work, but it's fun because we're helping people and we're sharing. The thought in my head when I'm talking to people about this opportunity is, when I see a great movie or go to a great restaurant, I always share it with people. That's what's in my head when I'm sharing this opportunity. I'm just sharing something else that's fantastic. That, of course, is much more beneficial than a restaurant or a movie, but it's the same idea. Go ahead, Kyle.
That's fantastic. Now, when you're communicating or sharing things with people that you know, for example, you're telling people that maybe you don't know, because we have a warm market and a cold market, and you have that. You've already come to the realization, you don't care what other people think. All you're doing is you're basically giving them an opportunity to see it for what it is. Whether they like it or not, who cares? It's kind of like the server at the restaurant. If they ask you for some water, you say no. They don't get hurt or offended. They don't care. Like, just go to the next person if they want water. Same thing. Just give people an opportunity to see if they're open, right? So, in regards to your warm market, people that you've already communicated with or talked to about, maybe you've done business with them in a previous business model before or not. What are the things that you kind of like open up with and pique their interest to see if they'd be open to hearing or watching, taking a look at some information?
And that's interesting you say that. A lot of my signups are people that have signed up with other businesses with me before, which I'm excited about, because that tells them they have faith in me and they believe in me and that I'm honest of what they're giving, which is why three-way calls are important, which I'll get into later. It's an opportunity with numbers of trillions of dollars in sales. It's an opportunity that everybody in the world knows the internet and e-commerce is growing. So you mention that to them, hey, do you know where e-commerce is going? Oh, God, yeah, it's everybody. My mom, my dad. It's just, well, that's what we're doing. We're taking a piece of that. Would you like the piece of that? Absolutely love a piece of the e-commerce. How do I do it? Boom. Come right in. This is much different than the businesses we've done before, and much easier. And once they see it and they get it, whether it's with a three-way call or more information, I've got some very passionate people that love this opportunity, and they're biting at the bit to get this thing going. Hope that helps you, Kyle.
Love that, because think about this. Here's another question. Let's say they do like it. Let's say they look at the information, things that you shared back and forth with each other, and it makes sense to them. Like, dude, how do I get in? So even if you get them in, is it important to get them also on a call with maybe one of your support team members, someone else to at least welcome them to the team?
Absolutely, because in my notes I've been writing as you've been talking is they're going to learn something. If I get Kyle on a three-way call with somebody, which just happened, we had a call on Thursday, and a lady came on the call that was not interested. She says, this is not for me. As soon as she got off the call, guess what? She signed up. Oh, my God, that's what it's about. Kyle said this, this, and this. So it gives them comfort that they're spending their money and getting something of value.
Fantastic. And congratulations. I know you've got dozens of people coming aboard. They're literally coming in swarms right now just because you started to implement these things. And once you learn this simple aspect and learn this really easy skill set, but it is a skill set. And if you're not doing the skill set, if you're not doing the simple proven system that we've actually proved time and time again, company after company, business after business, this gives people the opportunity. Again, this is a relationship building business. And we can use high-tech things. We can use the capture pages and funnel systems and drip email campaigns and all of those things. Those are just tools to be able to attract people to learn what we're doing. But this model of connecting with people, you want to build relationships. And those relationships are not built unless you pick up the phone, unless you have a conversation, unless you actually can build a relationship. And you can build relationships globally. I mean, I've got a whole team organization in different parts of the world that we built relationships with because we can get on the technology we have today. We're able to do Zoom calls or Skype calls, or we can do online experiences where we can see face-to-face. I mean, that is a part of our world now. So we want to use that and take it to our advantage. But, again, this is about people follow people. And I know Phil can talk about that in a second, but people don't join a business. They like the idea, but they join people, right? So, again, you being open, authentic, just a person that really wants to contribute and help and have that mentality. It's not about you winning. It's about us winning. So let's us do this together. Now, why is that important to have that, Steve? And because I see that in you, and I see that in a big way. You just come from the heart. Because you do that, you attract people so well. You know, why is that important to you?
Well, I'm coming from a sports background, played a lot of sports, was hoping to be a pro athlete, never happened. I'm too short, too small, which, God, it's okay. I got this now. But I love working with the teams, and everybody loves working with the team. There's nobody I know out there, maybe there are, I've never met them, that didn't like working with the team. And that's where the three-way call comes in. They meet Kyle, and the people I've introduced to Kyle, they go, I want to work with this guy. I want to be, can I call him? Can I text him? That is what's powerful. And I'm open. I'm like 24/7, text me, call me, email, whatever communication tool that works for you, and I'll get back to you. That's the big thing about a team. You have to have that. Again, follow-up, which is a big key.
Perfect. Love it. Well, I want to congratulate you, Steve. Thank you so much for being on the call and really sharing some of your wisdom, the things you're doing to see some fantastic success, and I appreciate all that you do.
And thank you. I'd offer anybody that wants to contact me, talk to me one-on-one. I'd be more than welcome to talk to them.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I'm going to bring on one last gentleman before we close the call off, and I'll turn it back over to Philip. But this gentleman really I've been able to build just a solid friendship and relationship with, and really the things that he's been doing and stepping into this space, even as a newbie. You know, he's had a lot of life experience. I mean, this gentleman was in the military for 30 years, special forces. He's a police officer the last 28 years, third-degree black belt jiu-jitsu. This guy is kind of like my bodyguard. I feel very blessed to have him at my side and working with us here. But again, being kind of newer in this industry, and he's one of the most coachable people I've ever met, especially somebody that has such a phenomenal background. But he realizes just because he was successful in other things doesn't mean that he will see success here unless he humbles himself and becomes a student of the industry or a student of the systems we have here. And he's been able to do it flawlessly and doing so well. And he's attracting some phenomenal leaders, dozens and dozens of people coming to his organization because he is coachable and willing to do the simple actions to win. And he just goes to work. Doesn't make excuses. He allows those reasons he has to make it a reality for himself. So, Mr. Luis Romano, on the call here?
Yes, I am, Cal. Can you hear me?
I can. Thanks for being on here with us. Maybe show us a little bit of how you've been implementing these things and the kind of results you're seeing because of your willingness to actually just follow the system.
Well, absolutely, Kyle. I mean, when I got involved in this business, I knew that I needed to follow someone that already had done it before. I didn't want to recreate the wheel per se. So I obviously seeked out the leadership, Rudy and Kyle, yourself, and I followed you guys' instructions and how to do the business and build something that's going to last. So personally for me, I've done a lot of cold market and I've done a lot of attraction marketing on social media. And that's what's actually worked for me a lot. I got to meet a lot of people that I did not know before, personally through Facebook and Instagram and so forth. And yeah, pretty much I post things that are positive. I don't really post things about what I do because I want to pique people's interest as to what I do. And pretty much that's what I've done.
Nice, perfect. Now, I know you just brought on a pretty solid big player that had seen tremendous success in the industry, and you didn't know this person from Adam, and for whatever reason, you were able to attract her that way, and she's come aboard excited about things, ready to build, and what is it that, you're able to do in order to attract that type of leadership, even though you're really kind of a newer person in the industry?
Absolutely. Like I said, attraction marketing is one of the things that I do the most. With this particular person, I posted something on Facebook dealing with what top earners, one of the top earners' secrets in the industry. And I followed up with they know when to get in and they know how to grow a business and achieve success. So this person hit me up on Messenger and pretty much asked me what I did. And I told the person, well, I can explain more if you want to get on a phone call. So we exchanged phone numbers. Actually, I gave her my phone number, but I told her that I needed to know, in case that she called me, I needed to know who it was because I don't normally answer phone calls from people that I don't know. So that was a way of me getting the phone number from this person and a name and just save it on my phone. And this person called me later on. We got on a conversation. I immediately knew that this person was a leader in the industry in actually two different businesses and has achieved a certain degree of success on both. This person actually has a 501c organization for women. A nonprofit, so pretty much I knew that this is the kind of person that I want in my organization. So after a brief conversation, I realized that she needed to get on the phone with somebody that understands the industry and the business a little bit more than I do and that has more experience. So I immediately edified Kyle on the phone. I explained to her that I would get her in touch with him. And that's exactly what I did. I mean, I got in touch with her back after talking to Kyle. They both agreed to get on the phone, and that's exactly what I did. And it took off from there.
So basically you became the matador. Olay, get out of the way, right?
Absolutely.
Got them interested, and then got out of the way, put someone else on the phone to help answer the questions. Whether you could or couldn't have answered those questions, that was the smartest move you could do. And this is one thing, I've been in the industry for 15 years. I can answer all of the questions. You know what I don't do? I don't answer the questions. What I do is I say enough to where I know to this point where they're open, and then I get myself out of the way, and I put someone else on the phone. or on a call, or that way they're realizing that, you know what, I can do this. Even if I've never had experience before, success before, I can do as simple as what they just did. I can pique their interest, have them show them information, and get someone else on the phone. That's the key element, and that's why these guys are finding all this success, is because they've simplistically realized that it's the peak and pass aspect and the synergistic experience as an interdependent element that helps your business grow. Because, you know, you want to keep it so super simple that an 8-year-old can do this. You know, that an 80-year-old grandma can do this. You know, I've helped my mother achieve some great financial success because literally learning how to, hey, look, this is what I got. You know, you can talk to my son. You know, that's as simple as we want to keep this type of a business and work with each other, support each other, and help each other win within this business model. So that being said, we're coming close to our 45-minute mark. I want to get Mr. Philip Willem back in to kind of share the last little element of really the gold mine effect, and that you don't want to leave people behind that you shouldn't. You know, the people that I care about the most, the people that I really want to win, I want to make sure that they know what I'm doing. Why? Because let's say this thing does take off. Let's just say this is the next biggest company that achieved tremendous reward financially. And I never even told the people I cared about it. Like, shame on me. You know, that's just how I look at it. And again, I'm not here to convince them or sell them on anything, so I at least let them know that this is available. But I'm doing this. And if you want to participate and gain the benefit of what I'm doing, fantastic. If you don't, no worries. At least I told you about it. So you can't come back to me later and say, you never told me. All right? I don't ever want to feel that. So the gold mine effect and things of that nature. Before we do that, if anybody knows somebody in Las Vegas, we have our founding leadership in Las Vegas right now about to do an event at 3 p.m. at the Alexis Park Hotel in Las Vegas, okay? So if you know anybody in the Vegas region, give them a call right after this call and let them know where it is so they go to the event and hear it from the horse's mouth from some of the biggest players of the industry that are leading our trail here, Mr. Richard Ramos and Gary Regier. So do you know anybody at Alexis Park Hotel in Las Vegas? That'll be at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so tap them into that. Also, if you don't know about our weekly calendar, go to VIP Global, our fan page on Facebook, so facebook.com/VIP Global Network. Again, facebook.com/VIP Global Network. And the calendar of events is at the very top of that page in the picture form. You can see with that. Just tap into what we're doing. There's only a couple events we do throughout the week. Just tap into as much as humanly possible so you can hear it from, get the necessary information you need. And if you are involved with TPS, if you had the opportunity and are gaining income there, you make sure that if you want to cash out, make sure that you do that today, because today is pretty much the last day to do that before our next cutoff time frame. So that being said, and turn it back over to Mr. Philip Willem. Thanks so much for having me on this call, and appreciate all that you do. So why don't you wrap it up with the gold and wrap up the call. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you very much indeed. I've learned some stuff myself there. I've been writing down as well. Mr. Steve Romano, thank you for sharing that information with me. Fantastic, classical stuff. Loved what you said. Loved about your belief, your passion, your excitement. Loved about the follow-up. And my biggest takeaway of this, and what I would like to emphasize here this evening, is the importance, okay, of creating excited curiosity in your business. Because curiosity really, it's a kind of cognitive thirst that wants and needs to be quenched, okay? It's one of the critical levers of success, and we all use curiosity without even realizing it in our lives, okay? In parenthood, in our jobs, if you've got a boss, you be sure if they're good at what they do, they create curiosity. And why do they do that? Well, I've taken a good look at it, and there's been some good research about it as well. And one of the ones that dragged my attention was by Carnegie Mellon's George Loewenstein, okay? And he stated that curiosity occurs when there is a gap between what we know and what we want to know, but also to ensure that people don't think that they know what you're talking about. What do I mean by that? Because that's rather highfalutin, really. Let's just say you tell someone, well, yeah, this is all about e-commerce. Okay, that's quite a general giveaway. You don't think you're giving away too much information there, but what do other people hear and what do they think? Immediately, they could be thinking, oh, e-commerce, I know all about that, not interested, not my bag, not for me. And they shut down, okay? Because we don't know what they know, and they don't know what we're about to tell them. So this is why you have to create curiosity in such a way that you want people to take that next step. So it's becoming an expert in saying the right things to create that curiosity, really, and understand that the effect of knowledge on curiosity dissipates the effect of curiosity as well. By that I mean, when someone has little to no knowledge of what you're saying, they're highly curious. When they've had a little bit, and especially a little bit of the wrong information, they assume they know. And when people assume things, then curiosity becomes an enemy, not a friend. Okay, so create curiosity in the right way. And as Steve said, follow up, follow up, follow up all the time. Thanks for that. I'm going to end with, as Kyle said, that I use the gold mine analogy. And I say to people right now, look, we have found the entrance to an undiscovered gold mine. We really have. What do we do when we find that? Do we go online and take out a $1,000 Facebook targeted ad campaign to target people and say, hey, come and join me at this secret entrance to this gold mine. The more people I get, the more we can take away. Would you do that? Or would you connect with those that you know, those that you trust, those that you love, those that love you, and say, hey, guess what I found? It's the entrance to a gold mine. I need you to come along to help me because I can't take it all on my own. And I can't think of anyone better here to share in this than you. Now, we've only got a limited amount of time here before someone else finds the entrance to this gold mine. So who do you know that you can bring along as well? Let's share the wealth together between creating a community of people that we know and also bringing in the right type of people that aren't going to bring in others that are going to spoil it for us as well. So we create a community of like-minded people who all add to our mining strength, but don't take away from it as well. So at this moment in time, realize that we're looking for early adopters here, okay? We're at the very, very start. And in any company, I did a Facebook post about this earlier, if you want to check it out. At the beginning of any company, the very, very first early adopters will amount for between 2 and 2.5% of the total people that's going to be in this company. And after that, and let's say 6 months down the line, we're then looking at introducing the next type of people. But right now, understand that the vast majority of people won't want to know about this because it's too early for them. They will want to see the social proof. They will want to see some success stories. They will want to hear of what some people have achieved in this business. So what we're looking for right now are people exactly like you on this call, who are prepared to be an early adopter, who are prepared to take this, run with it, have the belief, sell it with excitement, give it with all your passion you've got, and bring those people on with you. Now, you will speak to people who will not see it, and that's fine as well, because guess what? You can catch them the next time round, whether that's 3 months' time, whether that's 6 months' time, or whether that's 9 months' time, whatever the time is going to be that is right for them. And with that being said, thank you very much for everyone. I'd like to leave you with this one thought. It's never, ever about you. It always has to be what's right for them. Thanks very much, everybody. I look forward to catching up with you on Monday's masterclass. I've dropped the link into the chat box here, so you can click on the link and go directly to register for Monday's masterclass. I've also put it in the chat box for this Wednesday's training as well. So make sure that you get those links. Make sure you share them out with your team. And remember this one thing. The only thing to do with information and knowledge is to pass it on to other people. Thanks very much, everybody. Take care. Hope you've had a wonderful call. Have a wonderful day over in America. Have a nice evening here in California, and enjoy Monday if you're in Australia. Good night. God bless everybody.
Call recording off.